Hello pre-calculus students. I was asked about finding a linear regression equation. So I'm going to show you two methods. Method number one is using your calculator. Method number two is using, well, I'm going to use Excel. You could use Google Sheets. So what I need to do is enter these numbers in to L1 and L2, our list. So stat, edit, come up here and clear L1, and then go over here and clear L2. Okay, so 4, 5, 12, 13, 16, 76, and 87. So, oh, they ended up in L2. Well, I think I can move that. So let me just quit and say store L1. So I'm seeing L4, L1, and that's a blue. So second L1 store, no, I need L2. So second L2 store in second L1. Enter. So let's see. Edit. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to come up to L2, up, and hit clear and enter. Okay, and I think those numbers are just, 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's in. I'm going to check my stat key, which is on, using L1 and L2. I'll have to change my window so that it's, okay. So I'm going to go between 0 and 100 and scale it at 10. And then this only went up to 7, so I'll just stop at 10 and have the scale be 1. Okay, I'm going to graph that. It doesn't necessarily look really smooth. I wouldn't put a linear regression to it, but let's see what happens if I do. Stat, over to calc, down to number 4. L1, L2, there's not a frequency. I want to put the regression equation into Y1, so that's vars. Come over to Y vars, then I just hit enter twice. That pops in L1. And calculate. So there's the linear regression. And since it's in Y1, I can just hit graph. Now, I would like to know exactly how good this is. So right here with catalog, it's right above 0. Second, catalog. And let me move this. It's in alphabet mode. So alphabet, I'm looking for D's. There's a D right there. I just hit D. And I'm coming down to diagnostics. And I'm going to turn them on. God, my picture again. So as soon as I hit enter, it'll be done. So now if I do stat, or calculate, 4. Dun, 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 dun. I already have the regression, calculate. This time it's going to pop up an R-squared, which tells us how much of the variation is actually explained by this model. And the variation is how far away from the line each point is. And so this is called least squares regression. It has to do with this distance is actually a negative distance. This is a positive distance. And so we square all the distances so that they are all positive, we add them together and we see which line, as we go through, actually has the least amount of those squared distances apart, the variation. The r squared, okay, let's see if I can pull that up. Okay, so second entry, enter. Yes, there we go. Okay, if you actually take the square root of r squared, you get r, which is correlation, which has to do with how good this is at predicting. So about 86%. So if we were trying to predict the next point, it would be out here. What happened here? With 7 data points, things are a little iffy. Second method, let's do the Excel. So let me pull that up. Make it a little bit smaller. Oh, let me turn off the calculator. And move this over so I can... Actually, I'm going to pause and put the points in. Okay, so I put the numbers in. I think I'm going to come down and format the cell and say wrap text. Come on. There you go. Alignment, wrap text. Okay. So the game number and the cumulative number of home runs. Alright, so I select this and I insert a scatter plot. Just like we did with the calculator. And this gives us pretty much the same thing. I've got a plus sign here. Move this over a little bit. Plus. I would like to add a trend line, but I'm going to come out. It is linear, and I'm coming down to more options. Because right here, down at the bottom, display equation on the chart and display the R square on the chart. Okay, let's see if it did it. Yep, there we go. So I can close that. Here's this. I'm just going to make it a bigger font. There. Okay, so same equation and same R squared. Which one works for you? This actually might show up on a midterm or a final, so I'll have to make sure that your calculators are allowed. I will see about the Desmos calculator. Someone recommended it. I haven't seen any linear regression. So whatever we keep coming up with will be on your midterm and final. Allowed on it, I should say. Alright, so I hope that helps you with the linear regression. Come back to the original equation, and yep, there it is. 3 decimal places.